I guess I know you've only got a little bit of time, so can you just update us from the last point that we talked, and what's new information, and how close or how much closer are we to our end goal, which is getting those checks in the hands of people?
Yes, well, we spent a lot of last week and continuously working with my team and trying to put together the implementation plan, looking at sites, trying to get all the infrastructure together. So that's starting to look promised. Today, in about 45 minutes, our software vendor is going to demonstrate the shell of what the PUA software is going to look like. And of course, I've explained to you that we're waiting for USDOL to give us the approved application, which they're trying to standardize so that we can make sure that all the fields are in that software. But like I said, they're moving forward based on their experience and standing up the software. So it'll be nice and exciting to see what this new software is going to do so we can start tweaking that. Then tomorrow I have a conference call, just Guam and USDOL instead of the islands and region and all that stuff. So they're going to give us specialized training, and hopefully they'll have some. Like I said, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that they're going to release or give us some next step guidance, or we're still waiting for the agreement for the FPUC for that money after that was approved. Mm-hmm. So I'm moving as fast as I can with the information and the tools that they've given me so far, but I'm just waiting for them because I'm already surpassing them.
Are we still waiting on feedback on the $900 million supplemental budget request?
No, I'm putting the final touches on that.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the last bit of quotes, and I did hear a big piece of news that I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, and the fears that is this money going to be run out like the PPP program, or is this money going to dry up, or and I sent that question up all the way up to the assistant level, secretary level, and I got back that the sum for this program is, quote, is as needed or as appropriated. So there is no cap on the request for this program. So whatever is needed for this program nationwide, it moves. So we don't have to worry about funds drying up because we're delayed in getting our program started in the territories versus the state. That money will be there as needed, and that is what I always thought. But it was nice to hear directly from a fairly high senior USDOL official.
Well, Dave, we had Assistant Secretary Doug Dominich on the show a few days ago, and we also made the ask and told him how hard you're working, and if he could, somehow pull some strings or push some things, he said he would.
Great. I still push that from a higher level, and keep asking them to please hurry up and pass the things that we need so that we can move forward. And I mean, when I talked to some of these officials, they weren't real happy at the delay that USDOL is doing for the territories and for Guam. So I keep pushing that. I still keep the eye on that. And of course, last week we did get that dislocated worker grant for $1.5 million, and that was just like a small part of this grant. So there may be other parts coming. So this part is just for the recovery. So I can use this funds to bring people on to help out with the cleaning, the quarantine, the hospitals, wherever is needed to get us back to square one. So that's nice, and we look forward to. We just got the award letter, So we're looking forward to those funds getting loaded up when they get loaded.
Dave, what would you say to those people? I know last week we said, hey, get your docs together, sit tight. What would your message to those people be now, people who are waiting on these programs? Because I think it's important to get you on and let them know that whatever progress we're making, I appreciate that you're sharing it with us.
Well, yeah. Well, the first, like I mentioned this week, later on, I'm hoping to turn on the employer module the full implementation, so that the employers can come in and load all the employee information of the layoffs, furloughs, and reductions. That is very critical for confirmation on these claimant applications. So that's what we're working on now. And of course, my hands are tied on the claimant side because I hadn't even gotten to look at what the applications look like.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we are able to get that application and finalize it, like I've mentioned to you, I plan on burning tens of thousands of copies and then distribute it out island-wide. You might not be able to apply or do anything, but at least you can get a hands-on copy, so you can start figuring out how to fill out each line item, and we can train and do PSAs on how to do this, so we can spend the next week or so telling you how to make sure that you fill it out properly. Mm-hmm. And that'll be a huge step, so that when we do turn on the system, that as much time and effort has gone into making sure that the application is done correctly.
Right. So for the time being, the onus is on businesses to register or file with the Department of Labor the number of furloughs and reduced hours, etc. This is at Hire Guam? Is this HireGuam.com?
Yeah, Hire Guam, right now you register. I need to have you registered, establish an account, and then we verify you as a viable business. And then when we turn on the module later this week, I hope, and that's one of the things this meeting in a half hour, we'll get more guidance as far as when they're ready to turn the employer module on too. Then you go in and do your employee information. So just most of these businesses already have all the employee information ready.
Dave,
and layoff times.
Sorry, I had a comment here. How do we know if our employer has registered?
You don't. I will. I can start generating lists and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good.
And that's why we're making call outs. This will be a web-based online process. It's the register takes less than 10 minutes, and then to load the employees in there, it all depends, of course, on how big your business is. If you have 4 or 5 employees, I've seen parts of it. It's fairly simple. You just plug in, fill in the blanks, and it'll guide you how to do each of the employees. So that is critical. That's why it's I'm trying to get you guys to put the word out. We need to get all the employers, and they are, because we're getting about anywhere from 500 to 1,000 logging in and registering. So I can only hope and see what happens. It's the smaller ones that I need to make sure, because we're reaching out through the GHRA, the chamber, through GVB, and all those different committees to get the word out to these businesses. The smaller ones might be a little bit more of a challenge.
David, so that question, I guess, how do we know if the employers are registering? We've also been telling the employees to kind of like lodge their info with you at Rapid Response at DOL. So you do have that, also the employee side information, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I got a message here.
Sure.
Go ahead, Dave.
I said, between the 311 and the Rapid Response, you should have most of your general questions answered, but we will be releasing. You have a lot of questions because we haven't gotten far enough from USDOL, and when I do, I will be putting that information out. So hang tight, and as soon as I learn it, I will go right out with you guys and tell the public and inform them.
You got it. I'll be standing by.
So just to recap, you're going to be having a teleconference with USDOL to find out if the application will. Wait.
Tomorrow is the recap with USDOL.
Okay.
And just to go over some of the elements of the PUA program, and of course I'll use that as a forum to get an update on where we're at as far as our FPUC, the $600 agreement. That needs to be sent to us, signed, so that we can put out a budget on that one. We will be giving out our budget probably tomorrow. We're waiting for the final quotes to be added in. Once I submit it, I wanted to make sure that we put in everything that we could put in on the programmatic side. As far as what we're asking to hand out, it's going to be close to just under 900, and then we're going to have a couple of million just on the program side, on running the program for the whole time. I want to make sure that we're complete and thorough with that request. And today's is with the software company.
And just so everybody knows, the wage or weekly benefit allotment, is that correct?
Yeah,
the WBA. It's $345 for 39 weeks. That's for the PUA, and then the $600 for the FPUC. But that's only through July.
From April through July.
Right.
Okay.
So if you get laid off in March 15th, then that'll start your 39 week of the 345, and then through April through July, you'll get the added $600, and then after July, you will go back down to just the 345 until you expend all your 39 weeks, or you go back to work.
Okay. Dave, when you get that application, you'll shoot that over. Daphne had sent a doc over to us to put up on our social media for non-filers, and we got that out, a lot of downloads. So when you get that app, you send it over, and we'll put it up in a downloadable form for people to get.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, Dave, thank you, man.
Thank you, too. I appreciate you getting the word out.
Of course.
Anytime.
Any way we can help, and wash your hands.
All right.
Okay, be safe.
Bye.
You too.
Okay. 7:32. Hey, we're doing our part. I'm telling everyone to wash their hands.
Yep.
That's Dave Dell'Isola, of course. Hey, coming up we have